An ABC News contributor and SiriusXM radio host Mike Muse joins me live now, along with ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill for more on this. Mike, Nancy Pelosi has been a central figure in American politics for decades. So talk about her legacy and how important is this transition to that next generation that she referred to in her speech?
Nancy is going to be one of the most important Speakers of the Houses that we have had, just from the fear fact of how she was able to maintain her caucus. The Democratic caucus underneath the House had so many different factions to it, but she was able to hold the line, hold them together, and still advance what was needed. Nancy Pelosi was the reason why we had the Affordable Care Act, which is one of the most significant achievements of President Obama's history. They have Nancy Pelosi to thank for that. Nancy Pelosi is one of the biggest fundraisers that we've ever saw in American politics as Speaker of the House, raising over $1.3 billion. That is unmatched. There's no way you can maintain your policies and things you're advocating for if you don't have the funding to get elected and to maintain that. And the way that she maintained with such a calmness about it. Nancy knew where the votes were. She was such a great tactician when it came to that. She knew when to bring bills to the floor. She had a sense because she knew her members. She knew her members' districts. She knew where members were vulnerable. She knew what she could bring that wouldn't jeopardize them, at the same time wouldn't throw off the balance of the House. All that combined makes you historic in ways that we will be studying for a while to come.
We don't often think about all the things going on behind the scenes to make these pieces of legislation happen. Jay, Congressman Hakeem Jefferies of New York appears to be the frontrunner to take over the Democratic leadership. How likely is he to secure this post? What kind of competition is he looking at?
Well, there's a lot going behind the scenes with that now, Diane. So right after Speaker Pelosi addressed the House floor, her members of her leadership team started to come out, talk to reporters, and say that they were also stepping aside. Her number 2 in the House, Steny Hoyer, said that he would step aside. He threw his support behind Jeffries. Jim Clyburn, the majority whip, also said he was stepping aside, throwing his support behind Jeffries. So it makes him the clear front runner right now. There's no one else that's really emerged into this field other than Hakeem Jefferies, the Democratic congressman of New York. There's also this newer generation that you referred to who are also taking up the mantle of House Democratic leadership. Catherine Clark, Democrat of Massachusetts, has been endorsed by both Clyburn and Hoyer for whip. Pete Aguilar, member of the January 6th committee, has been endorsed for caucus chair. So that new generation is emerging. The question becomes, are House Democrats fully behind them when leadership elections are held on November 30th?
Now, Mike, you know Jeffries well. What do you think he would bring to this post, and why do you think so many are stepping aside to support him?
You see me smiling. I do know him. I've known Hakeem Jefferies since he was a state assemblyman here in the state of New York. He's also my fraternity brother at Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated, so I know him really well. Hakeem really focuses on social, racial, and economic injustices in America, and that is the core of the Democratic Party. This is what the Democratic Party's base is, and he understands that. What's also interesting about him, Diane, is that he understands messaging. He comes from culture. He understands culture. And as the Democrats are going to be positioned to battle with the new Republican caucus led by possibly McCarthy, it's a new era of politics. Nancy Pelosi and that team of leaders had to deal with when politics used to have a certain sense of decorum about it. We're in a new age now where it's all about messaging and sound bites. And I think Hakeem is well positioned with that because he understands culture. He understands messaging. He not only will be a tactician within the caucus, but he will be a tactician in how to go against the Republican Party with McCarthy as they're bringing new policies, new agenda forward.
All right, Jay O'Brien, Mike Muse, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.